Right, hello guys, I thought I'd get posting again. I'm building more hugel beds today, so that involves digging down to the subsoil, then a layer of newspaper, a layer of twigs, a layer of leaf mulch, and then a layer of really well rotten chicken poop and straw, and then we put the topsoil back on. And this topsoil's rocket fuel anyway. I was growing beans in it this season. So I'm getting this done while the weather's good, because obviously climate change is a bitch. And if you look over my shoulder, it doesn't really exist, does it? Climate catastrophe, you know. It's only the whole field behind us is completely flooded with water because all the frost has thawed out and it's been raining for about 3 days. But hey, never mind. Let's just have a little dig for fossil fuels instead, shall we? Right, enough of my cynicism. I'll keep you posted on how this build goes and show you each stage as we go, because this is something that you can do. It creates a hotbed, and it's a great little way of growing things. Everything's soft and spongy like a memory foam mattress, so it's really easy for the seedlings to get in there, get some space, get some nutrients, because you're putting that all in the soil. It's a winner. I'll keep you posted. Right, so this is stage one. Basically what we're doing is we're digging down. So I don't know whether you can see that, the sun's in my eyes, but we're digging down to the subsoil and we're piling up all the topsoil over there, and we're going to be filling that with newspaper, and that's the next stage. So yeah, watch on. So here we go. If you look over my shoulder, you should be able to see that oh yeah, there we go. I've dug out this bed to the layer of the subsoil. So the next stage is loads of newspaper. Right, so next stage is a newspaper stage. So literally just take your broadsheet, whatever it is, whatever rubbishy media it is, fold it out, stick it in the ground. It's the most useful place for it. And yeah, what it will do is it will create a mulch that holds moisture, prevents weeds from coming up. Not that you're going to hit them on the subsoil, but yeah, overall the best benefits that you're ever going to get out of a newspaper in the UK. Put it in the ground, bury it, forget about it. Right, next stage is twigs. Okay, so here we are. We've stuck the sticks in. And that's over the top of the newspaper on this bed, and the sticks are all the cuttings from last year that have sat underneath one of the big oak trees and sort of all got sticky, so you can jump up and down on them, make them into small bits, full of hazelnuts and acorns, which is another fun thing about this bed, is that once it's all covered, you never know, this springtime or next year we might have little oaks and little hazels come up and they can be transplanted. We've got plenty of oaks on this land, that's why it's called Oak Meadow. And we also have an industrious family of squirrels that seem to be really forgetful and plant little clusters of nuts all over the place, that 2 years later you've got a stand of oak trees, stand of whips. So we've got loads of them. The thing to do with these as well is, you know, if you've not got room for them on your own land, a bit of guerrilla gardening wouldn't be bad. All right dudes, I'll speak later when the next layer is leaves. Right, so over my shoulder, just here, is our little leaf clamp. You've got to save the leaves. I mean, they're nitrogen fertiliser. They fall off the trees every year. It's a no-brainer. Just make a chicken wire clamp, rake your leaves up, bung them in that, and they'll start mulching. And then that goes in your hugel bed to continue mulching, because the beds themselves won't be ready till April. Cool, laters. Okay, so here we are again. We just put the leaves on the hugel bed, and the recommended is sort of 6 to 8 inches thick carpet of leaves. So that's kind of what we can do. And as you can see, it's mounded over the top of the cavity that I've dug over. So we've now got newspaper, sticks and leaves in there. So the next stage is to go over to where the chicken straw and chicken manure has been rotting in one of our compost buckets. And I'm going to dig that out, and I'm going to put a layer, I know, about 2-3 inch thick layer of that on top of the leaves, which should push it down again. But as you can obviously see, when I put the topsoil on, it brings the whole level of the bed up by about 6 inches. And once we've got the topsoil on, we'll Mypex the top of it, and then leave that bed alone until springtime, where it hopefully with composting going on, it should be nice and warm, and with a bit of plastic covering over the top, we should be able to plant early. So we'll see. This is all experimental at this stage, so I know Ches has tried it before, but this is the first time I've tried it. I'm going to try a whole new way of planting vegetables this summer. I've done the old traditional granddad method of stuffing rows, but we're going to go much more light. This was my experimental bed last year, this one here. So that has about 3 or 4 different sorts of vegetables, all that are quite happy growing together, and they did really well, and it's still giving us food. So that was planted last springtime. So here we are, in a few days from Christmas, and it's still going strong. Right, keep you posted with another video once I've got the chicken poop on top. Nice one. Cheers. Right, so this is our chicken compost poo bin. Just in here, it's all the straw from their bedding and loads of chicken shit. But you lift the straw off the very top of it, and you've got a really nice dark rich compost underneath it, and that's the next layer. Nice one. Okay, so here we are. I don't know whether you can see that. Yeah, there we go. All this is rotten chicken shit. As you can see how dark and brown it is. It's really well composted. There's loads of nutrients in that. So there's two more stages to go. First one is to chuck the topsoil back on and mound it right up, and then the last one is to cover it with plastic, because we don't want weeds growing in there until we're ready to use the beds, and the beds aren't going to be ready till April at the earliest. I will put the topsoil back on, and I'll just show you what I meant by it being spongy like a mattress. It's just awesome. The most important thing with these beds is once you build them, and during the process of building them, you don't stand on them, so you don't compact anything. Everything's nice and loose, so it's really easy for the seedlings to get their roots down. That's the whole point. That and the heat of the composting underneath makes them warm. So yeah, right, I'll do another video once I put the topsoil on. Nice one. Cheers. Okay, so we're there. We've put the topsoil back on the bed, and as you can see, oh, I don't know, you can because the sun's out, it's considerably larger than it was. Can we see that? So the next job is literally to cover it over. Let me just see if I can show you what I mean by it being bouncy. No, not really. Okay, now the soil's quite heavy, so it's not as fluffy and bouncy as the last one I did. So I'm going to cover that up with black sheet, and then we'll uncover that come April time when we come to plant on it, and it should have no weeds in it. It should be nice and warm. The soil should be warm, plenty of nitrogen in it, loads of compost in it, and we should be cooking on gas. Cheers then. Ta-da. Okay, so here we go. I'm just going to show you. If I get down here, you can see how mounded off that bed is now. If you look at it like that, it's quite considerably higher than the surface layer of the soil. So we're at least, I'd say, between 8 and 10 inches higher than the ground level now. So yeah, beautifully mounded, nice and spongy, and yeah, we'll cover that up now and then get that out in springtime. Wicked. So that's how you make a hugel bed. Okay, so this is us all done. Hugel bed's all covered up, as you can see. Nice mound to it still, and that will stay covered. That will stay covered up until we're ready to plant in it. Basically, the longer it stays covered up, the less weeds we'll have in it, and the hotter the composting process will be, which warms the bed. I'm hoping to get stuff in there quite early, but like I say, it's an entirely new system that I'm going to use this year. So watch this space. Cheers now. See you guys. Right, so I hope you enjoyed the hugel bed building video. I just thought I'd pop up to the studio because I think Nina's in the studio. So we'll have a little preview of stuff that is going to be coming up on the channel. Right, oh look, here we go. Nina's busy beavering away. What you doing, Nina?
I am, if you have a look down here on the light box,
Have
you can see on there, because it's ultra bright. Maybe if I turn it off, or you can kind of see, I'm basically painting the bits. Oh, you can't really see it on there. It's just covered in paint. It's for a stained glass window that I'm doing, which is a hare and a magpie. Come and have a look over here. It's all laid out, but it's obviously got dark behind it, so it's pretty difficult to see the actual design. So you can see here we've got the magpie, nice iridescent glass for the magpie tail, which is very exciting. Little moon gazing hare here, so it's going to have a few different processes involved with it. Got some painting, got some deep sandblasting going on the moon so that you can see all the craters of the moon. Yeah, it's for a client. It's actually for a client, a lovely lady called Lily and her partner Nick Hayes, who wrote, note this book because it's a really good one, who wrote the book Trespass by Nick Hayes. It's absolutely amazing. It tells of the history. It's really beautifully written. But it basically tells of the history of how how the land was grabbed off of us by all the rich people, and how those 1% earned their money basically out of the slave trade all those years ago, and how they still own all the land. Anyway, that's a side note. This window is for them, and yes, it's a magpie and a moon gazing hare. So check the book out though. We'll leave a little note in the notes below.
Okay, so I often see you filming your builds. Where can people check out you doing your time-lapse photography, putting these windows together?
You can, my name is Clear Sands Glassworks, so you can either find me on my website, or you can go to Instagram, or you can go to Facebook, and yeah, type in Clear Sands Glassworks, and you can find me there. We will also leave a link.
And would you also, for the future on Oak Meadow, would you be prepared to do like a Swifty tutorial in your craft?
I think I can do that, yes.
Okay. You heard it here first, folks. We've got some glasswork coming on this channel at some point.
I am master craftsman. I can't even say the bloody word.
Right, brilliant. I hope you've enjoyed the films that we've been making. If you do, please subscribe, please like. Drop a comment below. Comments are brilliant because they increase the profile a little bit, and you know, keep it nice, keep it fluffy. It's a two-way street when it comes to conversations. We're quite happy to answer questions, and quite happy to maybe film stuff that you're interested in covering, subjects you're interested in covering, or are curious about this off-grid way of life. Brilliant. Till next time. Thanks very much for your time. Cheers now. Bye.